So I've watched a couple of videos on YouTube of people giving their predictions about how major films are going to be doing during 2025. And I totally disagree with what they're saying. But for me to put my money where my mouth is, I got to make my own list so you guys can see it and then hold me to it at the end of the year. Let's see if I'm right. Stick around. Welcome back, family. So we're into 2025 now. We got a bunch of big films that are going to be coming out. And I know all the studios are hoping that every single one of their movies is going to be a major hit. I think that they're going to be very disappointed. Now, I've seen some other people that have ranked movies based on what they think these movies are going to make. I'm not going to get into whether or not Rotten Tomatoes likes them. The only thing that matters to you could have a movie that ranks 1% horrible, worst movie ever. If it makes $1 billion for the studio, that's all they care. Okay? So I think I will say whether or not I think it's going to be a good movie, but what's most important is to the studios is will they make that big paycheck on some of these? And again, I've seen some of these tier listings and I disagree, so I've got my own ready. So let's just jump right into it, shall we? As you can see, I've got, 9, 18, 20, 24 movies here we're going to look at. These are all coming out in 2025, unless they get postponed for any reason, but I have no reason to think that they're going to. We're going to take these one at a time. Now, it looks like they're already in alphabetical order, so why not? We have 28 years later. Now, honestly, I loved the first two movies, 28 days later, 28 days later, 28 weeks later, now we have 28 years later. The trailer looks really, really good. But in the box office, horror films only go so far. And I don't think that this is going to be, it's not hitting these top tiers just because it's a horror film. And when was the last time a horror film made, even 750 million or 500 million? It's very, very rare. Now there is a very strong following for this, and I may go see it myself. But in all honesty, I think 28 years later it's going to struggle, but I think it will just break the 200 million mark. It's not going to be up to 3. I just think because of inflation and everything else, I think it's going to do well. Let's see. Next one up here, we've got Avatar. Now, Avatar, Way of the Fire, I think it is. Now, Avatar, The Way of the Water, I think a lot of people went to go see that because they were still enamored with the original Avatar film, which was 10 years earlier. And honestly, I have talked to a lot of people that have seen it. They weren't crazy about the movie. And at this point, I don't think that this movie a lot of people say it's going to break the billion mark. Oh, absolutely. I don't think so. I just don't think so. I think a lot of people were disenchanted with a lot of the things that were wrong with the story on the second one. And they're going to be just content with waiting till this comes out on streaming. They don't need to see this on the big screen. And I don't even think we're making 750 on this. I think we're going to break 500 million on this. And we're probably going to break 600, but I don't think we're going to approach 7. That's my prediction on that. Next one up we have here is Ballerina. This is the John Wick movie, which when I first heard that they were making a female John Wick, I was like, oh great, we got to make a female version just so they're in line with Hollywood and in line with everything else. But after seeing the trailer, I'm actually liking the looks of this. And I don't have a problem with a female character. I mean, Lord knows I love Ripley, absolute OG, Leia, absolute OG. Anything to do with Resident Evil, Mila Jovovich is just fantastic. I love watching those movies. So this could, with the same choreography, be a very good movie, and I think it may be well received, not overly ecstatically received. What scares me is the fact that they brought Keanu Reeves into it. Do you really need him to sell this movie? That's my question. So I think people are going to wait for the reviews. I think the reviews are good and word of mouth. I'm going to say we're just going to cross that 500 mark on that. Just good luck on this one. All right, Captain America and the New World Order. This one, Look, I'm an MCU fan, absolutely, but the amount of reshoots on this, I'm really worried about this. They got this releasing in February, which is usually not when you release your ace in the whole movie. So usually save that for like when the Fantastic Four is coming out. So I think we're breaking 300. I don't think we're making it to 500,000 on this. I got a bad feeling that this is not going to be a good movie. So we'll see how that goes. Next up, we've got is Elio. This is a new one from Pixar. And just because it comes from Pixar, maybe everybody's like, billion? No, absolutely not. I think people are being a little bit more reserved before they just run out and see a Disney/Pixar movie. Now, we've got the kids are absolutely going to be like, I want to see it, I want to see it, I want to see it. However, I don't think there's anything in the trailer, the commercial, or the trailer that I've seen for this that make kids go. I don't think Soul did as well as they wanted to in the movie theater. I don't think Elemental did as well as they wanted in the movie theater, because I think the kids that desperately want to, they drive their parents crazy to go see these movies, is not, are not, what do you call it? Watching the commercial going, I gotta see it. Now, that being said, it is still Pixar. It's the one movie for the year from Pixar. Where am I putting this? I'm putting this at breaking 300. If there was a tier for 400, it would be there, but I don't think we're making it to 500,000, and that's a scary thing for Disney. Next up, it looks like, what is this, F1, I think? Yeah, F1. I have actually heard nothing about this movie. Oh, no, I have heard. Yeah, I've actually even seen the trailer for it. 200, that's it. There's going to be some people that like racing movies, but I just don't, nope, sorry, not thinking it's going to be all that fantastic. So we're just going to leave that one there. Now, here comes one of the ones that are really, really expected to do well this year. Taking a sip of my coffee before we hit this one. We've got the Fantastic Four. All right, now the Fantastic Four is going to be the third movie to hit the studio, the theaters this year from Marvel, from the MCU. We haven't touched Thunderbolts yet, which is down here. That one will be out before Fantastic Four. And I think Thunderbolts is going to be a better movie than Captain America, which is going to get the steam rolling a little bit more in that direction. That being said, Fantastic Four, look, I'm a Marvel reader, and even as a kid, I really didn't like reading the Fantastic Four. But I also didn't like reading Iron Man, but I love the Iron Man movies. I love the Iron Man character. So a lot of people are wondering how this is going to play out with Pedro Pascal playing Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards. He's a great actor, so I don't know, but I don't know. I have no idea how this is going to work. I haven't seen any kind of trailers or anything for it, but I've got a feeling this is still going to break the billion, because this is one of the, if they don't break $1 billion on this, the MCU is destined for failure. Okay, this is the one that they put all their chips in, their best writers, their best everything. So again, if MCU does not hit $1 billion on this, we may be looking at the end of the MCU and Disney's involvement in it and a whole bunch of other stuff, blah, 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 blah. Five Nights at Freddy's Part 2. I'm sorry, that's not even... It's A, it's a horror film. B, it's not... I don't think it's going to be good. So I think that's actually going to struggle to make $100 million. Now, let's say it's 110 because of inflation. All right, How to Train Your Dragon, the live action. What do I think this is going to be? I think, call me crazy, I think this is going to be the top moneymaker of the year. I think that live action, that trailer looks good. This is a movie that screams to be made in live action. And I think that this is going to be the top moneymaker of 2025. I think this is going to easily crack $1 billion. This is going to be the one that all the kids want to see. And to be honest, a lot of the adults are going to want to see this too, because we love this movie, the animated version, and as adults, we're going to want to see it. So I see packed theaters for this one. So that's my crazy prediction. I think How to Train Your Dragon live action is going to be the biggest moneymaker of 2025 in the box office. All right, so we've got Jurassic World Dominion or Domain or whatever the heck it's called. I really think that people are starting to get really tired of the Jurassic. That being said, I think it'll still crack 500 million, but it's going to stall. And these are all worldwide box office, by the way. So that's just my thought on this. The Karate Kid. Oh, God. Okay. I'm getting a bit Karate Kid played out. Now, people say, no, we're still on the Cobra Kai high, rolling on that and everything. Are we? Because the series has ended. Okay? If there was still a lot of interest in this series would still be going on, but they've ended that series because I think they saw the writing on the wall. And I think this is the swan song. I think this is the last hurrah for Ralph Macchio. And, as far as the Karate Kid is concerned, I didn't see anything about Johnny being in it. I didn't watch the last season of Karate Kid. I don't know if Johnny dies, so I don't think he does. But I'd like to see Johnny in this. But where do I think this is going to be? I think this is going to be a big disappointment. I don't think we're breaking 300 million with this. I think we're going to get to 200, and that's it. So I don't see that much nostalgia for it. The only, I watched the trailer. The only thing in that that I really found nostalgic was it was still in Miyagi's house, and it still had the cars in the park, in this little parking lot thing, including the yellow one. So, which I thought in an earlier movie he said that his girlfriend Allie crashed it and wrecked it. But I guess he fixed it. Whatever. Okay, this one. I'm a tremendous Stitch fan, and I'll be honest, I was very upset that they were making a live action version of this. I'm like, just spend the money, make another movie, make another story. How much of this is going to be 100% true? What new scenes, new interests? I mean, will we get will we get Pudge the fish eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich swimming underwater in live action? I mean, that right there could make it worth it for me. I'm absolutely going to be seeing this movie because I am a Stitch fanatic. I have no choice in the matter. But where do I think this is going to wind up? Well, it's going to make over $1 billion. There's going to be, I think, 4. I'm looking real quick. Yeah, 4 movies this year that make $1 billion. And if you know the predictions on a lot of these, I think you know which one is the other one. I think that Stitch is going to be... I think Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon are both going to be the top moneymakers above the Fantastic Four. And I'll just get out of the way, and I'll just say Superman's going to be the other one. But actually, I think that's going to be the order right there. I think it's going to be How to Train Your Dragon. No, gosh. A lot of people love Stitch, though. All right, I'm taking it back. Stitch is going to make more money than How to Train Your Dragon. Fantastic Four is just going to eke over $1 billion, but and that's it. And it'll restore some faith in the MCU. And James Gunn's Superman, even though a lot of people are questioning the casting of the character and his costume specifically, which is very, very retro to the original comic book and the original TV series. Look, James Gunn has done an excellent job with the projects that he's been given. And this is it. This is, his, bursting onto the scene. If this movie does not break $1 billion, everything else that he does is in jeopardy. This movie has got to be the home run that everybody thinks it's going to be. The trailer looks really, really good. I say this is going to easily go over $1 billion and set the stage for the DC universe, James Gunn's DC universe. Okay, so next up, Megan 2. I didn't even know they were making this, but I'm excited about it. I saw Megan in the movie theater. I am surprised that the first movie did not break 200 million worldwide because honestly, it was really, really good. It is still a horror film. The story is not quite as cool to me as what I thought the first movie storyline was going to be. But still, a lot of people watch Megan on streaming, and this may actually even break 200 million. I think it's probably going to be under 2, but it has a chance, so I'm going to leave her there. Okay, this next movie, I'm sorry. I think this is going to be a flop. I don't care how popular the game is. Minecraft? Really? This is one of those ones I think that it's not just that the kids want to go see it. I think the parents, if the parents are being told to take their kid to go see Elio or How to Train Your Dragon or Lilo and Stitch, they're going to be much more apt to do that than the video game Minecraft. For two reasons. One, I think the parents have no interest whatsoever in Minecraft. Two, they're so sick to death of their kids playing Minecraft and spending a ton of money that they're probably going to do anything they can to not have to endure 2 hours of this in the movie theater. That being said, kids just don't shut up. So I think Minecraft, I'll put it at just breaking 300 million. Just because kids, gosh, kids. Ah. All right, so the very last one of the Mission Impossibles, what is it, the Dead Reckoning Part 2, or whatever was the name of it. I don't think that the last movie got as big a reception as they were planning on. It got a very good reception, but I don't think it got as big as one as they wanted. But this is the last one. Maybe people are just like, you know what, let's go out with a bang and watch it. That being said, I still don't think it's going to make the money that they're looking for. I think people are just a little bit tired of it. I think people are tired of seeing Tom Cruise running down the street. And I don't think we're going to make it to 500,000. I think 300 million. I think 450 is where this is going to be. I don't think we quite make it to 500 million. Well, worldwide. All right, it's going to be really close, but I'll give it 500,000. Sorry, half a billion. It's tough. I think it's going to probably be more like 450, but let's see if they keep it in the theaters long enough to get to 500 million. It's the last one. It's a swan song. Maybe. Okay, Mortal Kombat. Now, Mortal Kombat is fun. These movies are really fun. Even when they're corny, they're hokey, they're stupid, they're still fun. But they don't make a lot of money in the movie theaters. They just don't. Now, that being said, I think this movie, it's not going to make it to 200 million. I think it's probably going to be more like 160 and considered to be, what did it cost? So 110 to make, 160 in the box office. They're like, oh, we made a little money, yay. All right. This is the one that is really, I don't know what the hell to make of as far as how it's going to be received. This is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I'm not going to get into the politics of the actors, actresses, the studio. I'm only talking about how this is going to be received by the public and will people want to go see it. There's going to be a number of people that go to see it just to try to support it because of the agenda. There's going to be a lot of people that don't go to see it because of the agenda. I think they're going to kind of cancel each other out. I don't know if kids are going to be as enamored with going to see this as some of the other ones because, kids weren't around when the original one came out. And there have been so many versions of Snow White, they might not care about it that much. That being said, this does not do as well as Disney was hoping for in the movie theater. I'm going to say 500 million. I don't think we make it to 750 with that movie. I'm sorry. I just don't think so. There's too many other kid movies that are out this year. Big ones we still have two more, 2.5 actually, if you count Wicked. On this list, we've got a few already that I think this can slip between the cracks and people will wait for it to come out on streaming or just wait for it in general to see how the reviews are and People are just not going to go. The Bad Guys Part 2. The first one was cool. I don't know if the second one, the trailer for the trailer for the second one looks like it's going to have your standard decrease in quality with a sequel. But it's gonna, I don't think we make 300 million on this. I think it's going to be about 260, 270, and it's going to be right about there. Overall, it looks like we're a pretty low movie this year. We got The Conjuring. This is The Last Rites. This is the last of the Conjuring movies. Again, a lot of people watch it. A lot of people don't even pay attention to it. It's a horror film. I don't think we break 200 with it. I think it's going to, I was going to say 180, 190, but if I add 10 million more, it jumps to 200 million. No, I'm going to stay true to that and say I think it's going to be under 200 million. Okay, we got 4 more movies left, and then one that's not on this list that I have to just discuss. We've got The Thunderbolts with an asterisk because they can't call themselves that, but they're going to. This one's going to be following New World Order. And I think New World Order is not going to do well. I think people at that point are going to be like, well, do we really care about the next movie if the last one was stunk? I think this one's going to be good. I like the trailer. I like the interaction between the characters. They kind of remind me of Guardians of the Galaxy, where it's like so much dysfunction that it functions. I love the actors and actresses that are in this. I love Bucky. I love Florence Pugh as the White Widow, or the new Black Widow, whichever you want to say. I love to hate John Walker. Okay. U.S. Agent. I think Red Guardian is fun. I think all the actors that are in this are just perfectly cast, and I think if they have the right script, this is going to be a good movie that word of mouth is going to help. I think it's going to start slow, but I think this movie may wind up breaking the 500,000 mark. Now, if New World Order does better, if it's a good movie, then this could move up to the 750 if it's as good as I think, because, again, that's going to lose some steam because of, in my opinion, the failure of New World Order. And I don't want it to fail. I want it to do well, but I just don't think it's going to. All right, we got 3 movies here left, and we've got Tron. Okay. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, well, Tron's so nostalgic and the last movie didn't quite hit. Let me ask a question. And I have Disney Plus. A lot of people have Disney Plus. When was the last time anybody made it a point to go watch the original Tron movie? Yeah, it's something from our childhood, but nobody goes to watch it because deep down inside, it doesn't we don't care. And I think this is going to be another one of those. Budget alone is going to make a good commercial, but overall, I don't think it's got the the built-in fan base to make this movie do well. And I think they're going to be very disappointed when it just barely breaks over 300 million and goes to maybe 320, 330, and that's it. I would not be surprised if this actually doesn't even make it to 300 million. Even if it's a good movie, people just don't care about Tron anymore. I mean, it was cool back in 1982 because it was futuristic. Now the stuff that's on there, it's like you're taking something that was futuristic 40 years ago, giving it new CGI with the same storyline and saying, oh, look, this is futuristic. No, it's not. It's a remake of something that was 40 years ago, and I don't find it's like groundbreaking anymore. Okay, 2 more left. We got Wicked Part 2. Now, the first movie, I think they expected it to do better in the box office than it did. It didn't do badly. However, I think a lot of people were like, I'm just going to wait for this to come out on streaming or Disney Plus or wherever it is that Wicked comes out. And people are now watching it and, streaming it. I watched it. It's good. It's actually really good. It's a good story. It's not just a musical. It's a good story, and I like that. And I want to know where this goes from here. So I think people are actually going to be waiting for this one. And I think we've got our 750 category. Thank goodness we have something there, because I'd hate to have an empty line there for nothing. But I think we're going to break 750, but I don't think we're going to make it to $1 billion. I think it's going to stall around 8 to 820. And the last one is Zootopia Part 2, where we find out why there are no reptiles in, oh God, what's the name of the city? Zootopia. Anyway, I think that this is another one that's both adults kind of like the movie and kids like it. And I think we've got our second 750 million movie. I think this is actually going to be more like about... Zootopia 2 going to make it to 750? It's going to be close. It's going to be close. This one's just going to nudge over 750. But it's going to need... absolutely need help from the worldwide. So I think this is the list. Now, the one movie that's wasn't one of the choices here, and I wanted to discuss was the movie Michael. I saw one person put the Michael movie in the over 1 billion category. What? Are you kidding me? How many other movies have we seen in the last couple of years of other entertainers that have just, I mean, they're good movies, but they don't do well at the box office. And I think Michael is another one. So honestly, I think Michael is going to wind up at 300 million and not make it to 500 million. If it's good. If it's not good, it's not even making it to 200 million. Michael is not going to be a $1 billion movie. I have no intention of seeing it. And I saw Michael Jackson in concert twice. Okay, so I do like Michael, but I'm not enamored with the idea of going to watch Michael. If that makes sense to you. All right. So, do you think that I am crazy? You probably do. And I'm sorry. I should have had that one up there before, but I wanted to focus only on this. You don't need to be looking at my pretty face. I would love to see in the comments, do you guys think I'm crazy? I'm sure a lot of people are going to. If you enjoyed the way that I presented this, please, I would encourage you to not only subscribe, but to give me a thumbs up so more people get to see the video. This helps with the algorithm. Drop those comments down below. I want to know which one do you think I am crazy high on, crazy low on? What do you think is going to be with Michael? What other movies that are coming out in 2025 that I did not have on the list? I saw some other ones, but I have no opinion. I saw some other lists, but with other movies, I had no opinions on those movies, and I didn't want to just arbitrarily put them on there just for nothing. So this list covered pretty much everything that I wanted, with the exception of Michael. All right, so like I said, I'm going to wrap this up. I would like to say thank every single person for watching as long as they did. Please, again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on notifications so you know when more videos are dropping. Drop those comments down below because I want to hear from you, and I will try to respond if you ask me a question. But other than that, though, thank you for tuning in, and until I see you in the next video, mahalo.